Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to all of my wonderful and beautiful little subscribers out there. And how I love you all so, and I hope that you're all super duper well, super duper wonderful, and super duper delicious. And that life is treating you most deliciously. So, what's the time, Mr. Wolf? So, the time is nearly 12 in the afternoon in our old England, my delicious little babies. Lots of grey sky today, no blue sky. Rather windy, but you can still wear your t-shirt, okay, my delicious little babies. So that's the weather forecast, my delicious little babies, okay, and that doesn't mean no. Now then, my delicious little babies, so this is not going to be a long video today. No, it isn't, okay. So I did a video yesterday, my delicious little babies, and well, what it was, I was talking about construction. Now, on the title to my video, I also put, there's a lot of drama in the world, which there is. I mean, every corner, just an old-fashioned saying, figure of speech, every corner that you turn, there's drama. Do you see what I mean? So, say, for example, if you go on to, social media, it could be anything, okay? There's always some form. There we are, a drama. When I was talking about construction, okay, and I want to really make this point here. When I was talking about construction, what I meant is that man has created. Now, if you go back many decades and decades ago, okay, things were a lot more, shall we say, silent. There we are. Okay, my delicious little babies. Okay, maybe I'm not getting my point across. So this is not to any of my delicious little babies. And yes, I will say that, because anybody who's listened to my videos forever, and thank you for any views, for any likes, and for the occasional comments, which I'll get to that shortly. The thing is, you will know that what I usually say is my delicious little babies. Now, again, we get back to this again. So it's going, you spin me right round, baby, right round. Do you see what I mean? So we're back to this again, my delicious little babies. Well, I'm not going to stop what I say. And I'm not going to stop the way how I say it. 3, 2, 1, my juicy little lights. Thank you, little lights. You're delicious and bright. Yes, I'm just going to keep shining my light. So anyway, my delicious little babies. So when I was talking about construction, yes, because, like in our Brummie Town Centre, always you'll see a large flipping tall crane. You'll see scaffolding everywhere, including the churches and everywhere like this, my delicious little babies, which has been going on long time now. Okay, my delicious little babies. Well, lately, of late, it's been banks. Okay, my delicious little babies. Another one's closed down in our local shopping centre, my delicious little babies. I did happen to find out the reason why, that somebody told me. I cannot remember who it was now, actually, offhand. Oh, anyway. And apparently it's because there's too many robberies, my delicious little babies, case, and now it's closed down. Well, I mean, that was around for forever. So I don't know what's happened there. Anyway, my delicious little babies. Anyway, so so that usually will mean that you have to go into the main other town centre, my delicious little babies. That's where they're doing everything. They're pushing it into one place. There we are. My delicious little babies. Anyway. So if you look at it, things were a lot more silent, wasn't they? Like, say, okay, something that's just came into my noddle, chopping wood, just simple things, something as simple as that, my delicious little babies can. So, and they still do it now, and there we are in many other countries, so if they want to get their logs, for their, their fires and everything, to keep them warm in their homes in the winter, my delicious little babies, well, they'll usually chop wood. So, yes, there is, see, my ears gone a bit blank there when I've just said that. That's spirit. There we are. And I'll go along with this, what I'm saying. So, yes, you can hear the sound chop, chop, chop. Do you see what I mean, my delicious little babies? But it's not like the sound of a machine, like say, I don't know, JCBs, and there we are, and things like this now then. Do you know what I mean, my delicious little babies, okay? So that's what I was talking about. But it seems that now it's very rare I ever receive a comment, my delicious little babies. And usually for most, 9 times out of 10, it's usually, bless, whoever it is, whoever's been kind enough to send me a comment. It's usually been most pleasant. But I woke up this morning, Madlichtuk babies, and I thought, oh, maybe it's saying, which it does on YouTube, start the conversation or something like this now then. But no, somebody had put, is it John, is it Sniper or Niper, whatever he is? I never wrote him down, couldn't be bothered, Madlichtuk babies anyway. He put something along the lines of, I heard baby a number of times. Well, you can F off nicely to John Snapper Napper, whoever you are, okay? So I'm saying it in my camera now. Whoever you are, you do not clothe me, you do not feed me, you do not pay my bills, so F off nicely, you insignificant twat. Okay, so I'm not talking to you, my delicious little babies, okay? And he didn't quite get the part about construction and everything. Well, he clearly has not been listening to any of my videos, because had he have done, then he would have got it, ding, ding, dong, dong. So who's the thick piece of shit? Because it's not myself. Okay, so what I did, I thought to myself, because I'd actually woken up, I had a bit better sleep, although my beautiful little fox was still on me noddle. Okay, my delicious babies cakes, I do believe, I think that they do cremations. It's either early hours of the morning or sometimes in the daytime. My delicious little babies okay, so the little baby was still on my mind. Yeah, I will say baby again. Anyway, my delicious little baby, so I thought, what shall I do about this? Now, normally I'd send a comment back, just do not send me damn silliness, okay, my delicious little babies, okay? But I thought, what's the best way to deal with this now, so that I can progress with my day positively? So I thought, just delete you, because you're not worth me even typing a comment back, okay? Now, then I received a beautiful, actually, rather early, actually. So I looked at, because my beautiful little baby brother, bless him, and how I love him so, he sends me a beautiful quote and a beautiful message each and every day, and I too reply to that and send himself a beautiful message, okay? And it was really fascinating, do you know what I mean? So there we are, a little bit of telepathy going on, there we are somewhere, okay? Because what he'd sent me was, and that is before I'd read this message. I must just point that out to you, my delicious babies. But what happened was, I never seen my beautiful baby brother's message and quote until after I'd seen the comment on my latest video, my delicious babies. So that's the way I'm explaining it. Okay, and when I looked at the beautiful quote that my beautiful baby brother sent me, it said, be kind to your enemies. So this brings me back to that poxy comment that I received, my delicious babies. And no, it's not me being, I'm not one who cannot take criticism. No, that's got nothing to do with this, my delicious babies. What this has got to do with is to the fact that, was it something, there we are, that I'd said on that video. There we are. Okay, my delicious babies, because I never received any other comments. Do you see what I mean, my delicious little babies, okay? So that's been deleted. So if the twat, John Snapper Napper, if he wants to send me another comment, okay, if he happens to stumble across my video, then bring it on, you little piece of shit, because guess what, this time round you are going to get it back. There we are, good and proper, okay? And I feel no way, right? This is my channel. I can say and do as I like, even though I am being, figure of speech, not in literal terms, strangled by YouTube, my delicious little babies, okay? But at the end of the day, I couldn't give fiddler's F. I just wasn't in the mood for it. I thought, you know what, just bing, delete you piece of shit, man. And this is what you get. Do you see what I'm saying, my delicious little babies? So instead of listening, there we are, properly to what I'm saying, but it is very clear to myself that some mothers do have them. Do you know what I mean, okay? But could have this been done, there we are, purposely? Do you see what I mean, my delicious? There we are, I would say so. Do you see what I mean, okay? So at the end of the day, that silly little twat can flipping rock and roll on, get on his back and pedal fast. Needs to learn to listen now, isn't it? You see what I mean, okay? But we have many in the world, my delicious little babies. I'm going to say that even more now, my delicious little babies, okay? who choose not to take in what is being said. Do you see what I mean, my delicious little babies? Okay. But like I say, this is what we're dealing with. Now then, so I had changing the subject, okay? So I'm going to leave you with this, okay? So it's not a long video today. And just before I say that, could everybody please, if you can, please go on our lovely, not in that way with anybody, our lovely Mal Care, Mornings with Mal Care. You can type in DuckDuckGo, then, type it please and thank you. Should anybody have any form of an interest, please type that in. And our lovely Mal K and our lovely Rob, like I said, not in that way. They're such a beautiful partners, okay? Very, there we are, educated, very, there we are, intelligent, and usually we'll always have, there we are, very intelligent guests on, okay, my delicious little babies. They are now up to 197,000 subscribers, my delicious little babies, okay? So it's really important. There we are. This is my delicious little babies, okay? Because you got different uploaders, and we've got different websites, and we've got different, what's going on, okay? You can also go on to the Mal Care Show, okay? Is it malcareshow.com? Okay, my delicious little babies, okay? And she's selling books at the moment, my delicious little babies. There we are. Well worth a listen to our lovely little Mal Care and our lovely little Rob. Okay, my delicious little babies. Getting back to this now then. So I'd like to leave you with this. So one of my mates, oh bless the beautiful dear little soul, I haven't seen her forever, she's all right, but she's just working, there we are, super duper hard, okay, my delicious little babies. And she's got a beautiful little family. They're all so beautiful. Anyway, and a dear son, he sent me, not in that way. He sent me a message this morning, my delicious little babies, because he popped to see me just for about 10 minutes, and then he, popped off again, bless him, because he's a very busy dear gentleman. And he sent me then a text message, and he said, if a tree falls down in the woods, would you still hear the noise? A very, very interesting question, my delicious little baby. So I'll repeat it again. If a tree falls down in the woods, would you hear the noise? Okay, my delicious little babies. Now, what I would have said to that, so I typed back, which I did. I typed back and I put, well, yes. Do you see what I mean? Because, even if nobody's around, you can, especially something loud, you can hear it, there we are, for miles. Do you see what I mean, my delicious little babies? Anyway, I know what I'm talking about. But what I would always have said to that, okay, is that, you see, trees, and that's what I sent back. I said, just to add something, I said, a tree, as a rule, does not just usually fall down. Okay, my delicious little babies. Now, as we very well know, trees, there we are, been around for hundreds of years. How many years? We do not exactly know. So we could have all the history in the world, but we do not exactly know how long trees have actually been standing, do we, my delicious little babies? So we have to really, there we are, use our noddles and say to ourselves, well, nobody knows everything. But I know myself that a tree would only fall down, okay, if, say, I don't know, if it's rather small, maybe it has not been planted correctly for whatever reason. So maybe it cannot withstand, heavy weathers and everything like this. Now then, do you see what I mean, okay? Now, there's also something I'd like to add to this, is that, yes, I've seen trees, there we are, which have been pulled, lifted out of the ground, which usually this has been man-made. But if you look at, say, in woods all over the world, in our country, all over the world, my delicious little babies, you've got the tallest trees that are standing, so they wouldn't just fall, so it wouldn't just go timber. Do you see what I mean, my delicious little babies, okay? You could maybe have somebody who comes along with a, with a, you know what I mean, with a tool, and to chop that tree down. Okay, my delicious little babies, okay? So there's a lot, there we are, in the question that I was being asked, there we are, in that message. Bless him. Okay, my delicious little babies, and that's how I'm going to leave my video. So, you know, this is a case of going away. I'm really glad that he sent it to me. Thank you. Our little lovely, I'll send you my video when it finally uploads, my delicious little babies. Bless you, okay? An excellent message to send me. Sorry, never needed to stumble there. And an excellent question. Do you see what I mean, okay? So if nobody's around, then therefore, you know, it's like the silence, isn't there? I know what I'm talking about. There we are. I know what I'm talking about, my delicious little babies. Do you see what I mean, okay? But as a rule, like I said, trees, sorry, excuse me, do not just usually fall down. Like I said, unless they're not planted correctly, or, you know what I mean? Or unless there is some sort of a severe weather event going on, which you and Dad, there we are, fully know about, my delicious little babies, who do know about this. Okay, my delicious little babies. So that's all I've got to say. There is another few videos that I did want to advertise, but I haven't wrote it down because I just wanted to get, there we are, this little video out, okay? But the way I see it is, there we are, it's food for thought. There we are, it's food for thought. Now, everybody will look at different angles here of how they would see things. Do you see what I mean, my delicious little babies? Yes. So, you know, and that's how I'll leave it. Oh, there was one last thing I want to tell you too, actually. 3, actually. So I was looking at this on Substack, and the first one that I looked at was this little zebra, you know, little zebra, and it was little baby, and you had a mama bear, and you had all of their, you know, their little gathering, you know, little zebras, and they were really terrified, and they didn't know what to do. Do you know what I mean? And little baby zebra was sinking in this quicksand, my delicious babies. Anyway, so these, bless them, they came along, these dear men, and they pulled the little baby zebra out. Okay, well, a little baby zebra, instead of, you know, poor little thing was a little bit confused at first, you know, but the beautiful little baby had been freed, and, you know, thanks to those dear men now. Okay. However, the little zebra wanted to follow the deer men in the trucks. You see what I mean? But then Mama Bear had to intervene, and you know, to make sure that little baby zebra was only focusing on Mama Bear. Do you see what I mean, my delicious little babies? That's the first one. The second one that I saw was this beautiful little abandoned puppy, only a little small little baby, okay? And so, you know, there's this family, you know, you know, this poor little puppy was so terrified, but they managed to get the little puppy. Then it took days and days, so, you know, wouldn't come out of hiding, as they put it. Do you see what I mean? Okay? Eventually came out, and this beautiful little puppy smiling, got a brand new home, you know, so all of that abandonment, you know, the little baby puppy was, you know, so very much loved and cherished. Isn't that beautiful, my delicious little babies? And the final one is to do with elephants, my delicious little babies. Do you see what I mean? Okay, where there was one little elephant, and there it was. It was, you know, with all of the, you know, the others, you know what I mean? And of course, when man were coming towards them, so you had little baby elephant, and you had Mama Bear, I should imagine Papa Bear, and, you know, their little friends and family there. The Mama Bear elephant was doing her utmost, there we are, to protect her baby elephant from a man, my delicious little baby. So that's how I'm going to leave my video. So wherever you are in the world, whether it's morning, afternoon, or evening, please have a super duper delicious time. You only get one life, my little honey bunnies. Sending peace, love, harmony, and bright blessings to each and every one of you. And may your beautiful little selves and your beautiful little families, may you all be fully protected. How I love you all so. But yes, There's always method, there we are, to what I say. There we are. And there are many, bless everybody's beautiful, dear little souls who, do listen to myself. There we are, who do get what I'm saying. So sometimes I do not just come straight out and say it. Sometimes I have to go around a different corner. Do you see what I'm saying, my delicious little babies? But I know, there we are, each and every time, there we are, fully what I am saying on my camera, my delicious little babies. Okay, it's a case of, there we are, working this out. Okay, my delicious little babies. So until my next video, thank you so very much once again, for any views, for any likes, for the occasional comments. Do you see what I mean? Okay, but if that one sends me another comment, well, bless my beautiful, dear little baby brother, be kind to your enemies. I'm not so sure I'm going to be. Okay, my delicious little babies, and of course I'm not inciting anything, it's just words, isn't it, my delicious little babies? So you just take care now. I love you all so. Thank you. Blessings. Goodbye.